dear awesome honorable friends, from my college days, I was quite habituated to come across this awareness in different print media and the social media that plastic must be banned or plastic should be banned. But have we asked ourselves, can we afford to ban completely plastic? I was thinking just today morning that when I get up from the bed, at that time, immediately after getting up, I used to take 2 glasses of water from my plastic bottles. After getting fresh, I have to take bath to be prepared for going to my working place. I use plastic bucket for taking bath. Then after taking breakfast, when I go to my office in my vehicles, I observed that most of the visible parts of the vehicles are made up of plastics, different kind, be it in the steering wheel or seat cover, erection, many other things, dashboards of vehicle. And in the office also I used to use the plastic jugs for taking my drinking water whenever required. And my coverall, safety suit, that is not also made up of cotton, that is also made up of the polyester or polystyrene, some kind of synthetic material. My safety shoe, lace, sole, many things are made up of synthetic materials. So nowadays, plastic already has entered in all spheres of our life. We cannot avoid it completely. But thing is that we cannot fold our arm and stay just see what is happening and let it happen. As a conscious citizen, we have the responsibility to curb the pollution as much as possible from our end. And that's why we must put our sincere effort to control the pollution due to plastic. What is plastic? Plastic is long carbon chain polymer. Polymer means when multiple molecules combine, then it creates a polymer. So plastic is long chain polymer of a high molecular weight. There are two kinds of plastics, thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics are plastics which can be molded as per our will whenever required, and we can put a shape as per our desire. Whereas the other counterpart has thermosetting plastic, once it has been given into set or a shape after setting from the molten and plastic state, we cannot change it back. So how it is polluting our environment? The main cause of the pollution of our environment that when we dispose plastics, and most of the cases we are disposing the single-use plastic. In India, in the town, total disposable plastics consist of 43% of single-use plastic, and that is the matter of most concern. We enjoy a cup of tea in a plastic cup and then throw the cup just by the side of the road or in the dustbin. Ultimately, these dustbins are also going to dispose by the roadside. And it is quite common scene in a big city. There are a lot of bovine cattle family. They are roaming here and there, and they're getting food from whatever thrown away, be it from the waste food from the vegetable market, or sometimes even they are taking the plastics. And I confirmed, because I have observed from their excreta that pieces of plastic is also coming out. But in that case, that particular cattle is very lucky that it survived his life. There might be danger of losing the life in that process. So in total, plastic has a property of not getting biodegradable. It takes near about 500 to 1000 years to degrade it. Only matter of degradation is to be exposed in the sunlight and getting degraded by the ultraviolet ray of sunlight. For making the things biodegradable, some beneficial bacteria, they are responsible. They can degrade any organic materials, be it our waste food or waste vegetables from the vegetable market or from the fish markets, garbage, everything can be biodegradable. But unfortunately, most of the plastics are not. That is the reason for making the pollution in the atmosphere. So when it is getting disposed in the landfill area, ultimately what happens? Rainwater fails to percolate to go inside deep into the earth, affecting the water level, as well as it is generating a lot of poisonous bacteria. And one more thing, this is by means of the slow degradation, emitting some toxic chemicals in the process, and these chemicals are getting into our food chain, and that's why we are also getting affected by this menace of this pollution. Now, why we are using plastic? Plastic has certain advantage, definitely, because it is the most economic way for the packaging and for the transportation as well, and it is the means of advertising the brand for the manufacturers, because it is very convenient to print their brand in the packet of a plastic bag. And while dispatching a material for a distance places, we can ensure that material will be under the waterproof packaging. So in case of any rain, it will not be affected. So these are the convenience point for using the plastic. In total, we cannot avoid to use plastics, because plastic is beneficial for using many parts of the even computer, even the vehicles, as I told, are made up of the plastics. But what creating problem most of the time, the carry bags or single-use plastics, that we need to think about it, how to control it. There are many ways which might be practical. The most famous way is the application of 3R: reduce, reuse and recycle, to control the fresh use of plastic. In India, it is known as the land of innovative and the creative people. India has developed under able leadership of Mr. Vasudevan, a professor in Tyagaraja Engineering College. He has developed a technique of mixing plastics in the shape of shredded particles in the aggregate mixture of asphalt, and use it for making construction of road. We can conveniently use it 8% of that shredded plastic with bitumen or asphalt, with other aggregate mixture to make the road. And it has been proved by making this plastic tar road. Road has become more durable and its load carrying capacity also enhanced. There will be lesser pothole, and in the entire process the carbon footprint also reduced. In the per kilometer road construction, in this way, single lane road construction, it is equivalent to reduction of 3 tons of carbon dioxide. It's a quite achievement, and India has pioneered in that use. And in this year also, our Honorable Minister of Road Transport, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, has announced that for the highway construction 723 kilometers, we have used this year this recyclable plastic along with the bitumen and other aggregate mixture. It's a quite achievement. India is a big country, and every year we are using lot of material for the construction of the road. So we can get rid of gradually, or we can mitigate the effect of the plastic pollution out of this. Another thing is that after India's success story, many other countries like Ghana, Netherlands, Scotland, they are also using the same technology, and somewhere they are using the total plastic instead of using and mixing with bitumen. Depending upon the rainfall, where the rainfall is maximum, we can use up to 10% of these shredded plastics, and most of these plastics must be the thermoplastics, which includes LDPE, HDPE. LDPE means low density polyethylene, HDPE high density polyethylene, polyethyl terephthalate PET, polypropylene PP, PS, polystyrene. Many things can be used, and thus we can reduce it. And nowadays, in many shopping malls, particularly in outside India, I have observed they encourage not to use plastic bags while carrying it. That's why they are charging something extra for purchasing the plastic bag while packaging it. And to save money and to save the environment, many people, they are following up not to use the fresh polythene bag. Instead, they are carrying their own bags and they are using it. So this is very important thing to apply: reduce, reuse and recycle. Apart from that, there are another news I have got. I came across that in India, the many creative people, they are successfully utilizing the plastics for making the sports shoe sole and many other items like thermocol type of plate, bowl. So we are trying at our end, but even then it is very little effort. We need to consider to think in a big way how to come across a concrete solution to reduce this type of things. But we cannot avoid at this juncture the use of plastic completely. Plastic has become already an integral part of our life. We cannot get rid of it. And even now, I am recording this video with my mobile phone, and many parts of this mobile phone is also used of plastic. When I need money, I use my ATM card. That card is also made up of plastic. So at this time, we are not in a position to completely eliminate all kinds of plastics, but definitely if we go in course of times we can reduce the effect of the plastics, because we cannot let the flora and fauna to decrease and to become extinct. We cannot afford it, because after all everything has a bad effect and it is a dominoes effect. When the flora and fauna reduces, at one point of time so we will observe that birds and bees, wasps, they also reduced. If birds and bees reduced, who will pollinate? How can our grains will grow? Will be entirely affected. Every link of the food chain is essential for our survival. We must think about it, and we must be very careful, just like a sincere citizens. We take care to reduce, reuse and recycle all the plastic elements whatever possible. And there are many intelligent use also. I have just shared two things. Another things I may share you that I have observed that in personal level, one very intelligent and creative lady in my neighborhood, they are making a beautiful flower vase out of the plastic water bottle, which we would otherwise throw away. And these plastic bottles filled with the sand, people are using to make a temporary hut, particularly in the coastal area of West Bengal, where the places are very much prone to cyclone every year. But people are utilizing effectively all these waste materials. So there are scope for using the waste materials and becoming rags to rich, also from waste to worth generation. So there are several ways, my dear friend. Stay awesome, stay happy, and be sincere to the environment, and be yourself to your conscience. Bye. Banning of harmful plastic is definitely a boon for the environment, but at this moment it might be bane for the